Okay, so finally, let's go ahead and get into some meat and potatoes. Eddie Kantar, who I dearly love, and I guess I interviewed him about 2 years ago on my podcast. And you can find him on my Bridge Hands website. And he's also been here at the ABTA, and I had him recorded there. You can get those on our ABTA website. But he started off with the whiteboard, the chalk talk, and got into the verbal instructions, the hands-on cards, like we all do, and a review. And what is it all in the middle? It circles with, what is his brand? It's humor. Humor is what he does. And what is humor? It's emotions. Let's take a look a little bit of Eddie. This was something about a year ago. He was out in California, and I know some of you have been there, right? We had a good time out there in Petaluma, where I live. And here's Eddie. This was, you may remember this.
7 zeros. And this was the 8th board we played.
7 zeros so far with his partner.
8th board we played, and I'm sitting north. I'm usually a pretty cool customer, but after 7 zeros, I'm a little shaky here. I haven't had 7 zeros in a row before, ever. So they bid to 4 spades. And I led the unbid suit diamonds. I probably should have led a trump, but I led a diamond. And Rhea won the ace, and returned a diamond. And I won the king. And I played a diamond back, and the declarer won the 3rd diamond. Nothing much has happened in diamonds, but to Rhea and I, this is probably the best 3 tricks we've had all day. Nobody's led out a turn, nobody's dropped their cards, nobody's revoked.
You should hear the first 7 hands, which I don't have time to show you.
So he draws, he doesn't play a cross one. He doesn't do that. He draws 2 rounds of trump, ending on the board, and Rhea discards the 9 of hearts. Okay. Now the declarer plays the ace of hearts from the board, and a low heart intending to trump. Now there's an inference here that Rhea should know that I have the queen of hearts, because if the declarer had the queen of hearts, they wouldn't be playing hearts this way. They would be finessing, they would be leading the queen of hearts. But Rhea, I hadn't given the lesson on inferences, so Rhea went up with the king of hearts, and the queen, my queen dropped, and now the guy has the jack 10 of hearts in the dummy. So even though he screwed up the play, he's still all right, because the jack 10 of hearts are in the dummy. But this hand isn't over by a long shot. Rhea puts her cards down on the table. The fact that my queen of hearts came up doesn't bother her a bit. It's just unlucky that I would have the queen of hearts. And she puts her cards down on the table and lights up one of these long, green Turkish cigarettes. And then she picks up her cards and ready to play. The only thing is, she doesn't pick up the cards that she hasn't played.
Uh-oh.
She picks up the cards she has already played. So
notice the students here laughing. See if they're enjoying themselves.
She's got the king of hearts. The poor declarer thinks his hearts are good, but Rhea's got the king of hearts, and for kicker, she's got the ace of diamonds, just in case she needs something later on in the hand. She's got that. So now the declarer, who naively thinks his hearts are good, starts to draw trump. So now Rhea follows to the first trump. Now, she's already shown out on the second trump. I mean, I'm supposed to know she can't have a trump in her hand. To me, it's fine. She's got a trump, fine. So the declarer draws 2 more trumps to get rid of the trumps, and he leads the jack of hearts from the dummy. Rhea plays the king. If this guy thought he could set up a suit against Rhea and I, he must have been kidding himself. So they call the director. so we have to explain this particular series of events. So we try, and he finally makes this ruling. The
Play has gotten out of hand. It's a nice ruling, out of hand.
Average plus. Average plus. This is the best thing you get.
Average minus, they're getting better.
Thing that's ever happened to us. We high-five each other. We finally got an average minus out of this mess.
But wait, there's more.
They appeal. They really appeal. 8 zeros in a row. We haven't done that in the second session. But I just always end with this story, and I always I want to thank you for being a really great group. I really enjoyed teaching you. Thank you.
That was a good class, wasn't it? Good. The point is that emotions can be, we don't run our whole classes with emotions, but used well, it's nice to give them a cookie once in a while, a little bit of candy, and to be able to have an opportunity where they can have some fun with their course, where it's not my course, it's not your course, but it's their course. So why do students play bridge anyway? Well, they do it because they like to challenge, they like to compete. They enjoy the mastery. A lot of us, that's probably why we do it. We like to learn more. Some do it for social and companionship reasons. My mother, I think, is one of those who she taught me. She says she likes to keep her mind sharp. She's doing crossword puzzles. She likes to do social bridge. And then some, they do it because it's something to occupy their time. There's one of the people in one of my bridge clubs I go. He's a multi-billionaire, but he's in his 80s, and this is what he likes to do. He thinks it's a lot of fun. But then we have these other types that are down there in purple. Beware the axis of evil. We have these out there, don't we? Yeah. The vicarious judges. You know, these are the resulters. They're going to be judge, jury, and executioner. Anybody know about the roll patrol? Yeah, they're always looking, they're kind of foraging for food around. They're looking for something to eat. And that's why they come to play. And they're have our lessons. They love food. Okay, what are the parallels between bridge and storytelling, I ask you? Bridge has a bidding phase. Storytelling has a backstory, doesn't it? We have a round of bidding and a play. It's like a beat, the lowest element of emotion. We have the play of the hand, which is like a scene, major change of action. Then the play of the game around is like an act. That's a major turning point. That's that big inciting incident. And then we have when the rubber and the overall, it's like our story. Okay, how about in the movie Titanic? Did any of you see the movie Titanic? Okay. What was the movie about? That was one story. That was one story. Sid Fields is a great story. He teaches story writers, script writers, and I love the saying that he had in his book, and that is that if the movie's about what the movie's about, then that movie's in deep doo-doo. So there has to be subtext, right? It has to be subtext. And the story about this was actually about Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio, and it had to do with their forbidden love. Right? She came from the aristocrat, and her mother, back in those days, said, here's what you're going to do because the family needs the money. And Leonardo was an average person. He won a bet and got a chance to come to the States. She didn't like the big thing about having to marry Cal, and so what did she do? She got up to the front of the boat, and she was ready to commit suicide, and Leonardo stopped her. That was a big inciting incident. Then there was the forbidden love. And then there was the sacrifice. There's a lot of subtext that goes on.